Like, this clip getting shown again, and it's just, in my opinion, is completely unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable. Like, if a coach did this to any other player in the league, they'd be fired. Or they'd at least be questionable in being fired.
This clip of one of the assistant coaches chasing Caitlin Clark down as she's riling up the crowd. And it seems like she's getting scolded, reprimanded, told, hey, all that hyping up, don't do that. Don't do it. Let's take a look here first. Now here we go. Body language doctor. Body language doctor is out and about. Caitlin Clark's like, what the hell is this?
Picture this. The woman who sells out arenas, moves merch like no one else, and single-handedly puts Indiana back on the basketball map is doing what she does best. Caitlin Clark lights up the floor, ignites the crowd, and for a moment, the Fever actually feel like a serious franchise. Then, dash out of nowhere, her coach reins her in. Like a dog off leash, sniffing the wrong fire hydrant. Too much fun for one afternoon. Apparently, the internet lost its mind. Clips went viral. Fans started calling it what it looked like. Sabotage. Was it a calculated decision? Or just an out-of-touch coach trying to dim the brightest light? This league has seen in years out of sheer instinct. If you're tired of watching the system try to hold Caitlin back, drop a comment below. Free Caitlin. Enough is enough.
Everybody online is talking about this play during one of the games where, as you're going to see, one of the coaches for the Indiana Fever just went and pretty much almost tackled Caitlin Clark for getting the crowd riled up. Man, why is she doing it? And I want to say that's this lady right here, Karima Christmas Kelly, one of the assistant coaches. And as you seen right there, she just seemed to have went and grabbed the Caitlin Clark as Caitlin Clark was trying to get the team, the crowd amped up.
Let's be real. This wasn't some last-minute miscommunication. You could see it all over Caitlin Clark's face. Did that really just happen? Look, that's becoming more and more familiar. Not anger, not outrage. Just pure confusion. The growing realization that in Indiana, even celebrating a big play feels like it requires a permission slip. This is the same. Caitlin Clark, who built her brand on playing with passion, pointing to the rafters, waving at student sections, bringing flair and energy to a sport that's been begging for more attention. And now, the very people cashing in on her star power seem to be telling her to tone it down. The irony. They're trying to dim the very spark that lit up the league in the first place.
So look, I don't think it's any secret that I'm not a fan of the Indiana Fever backroom staff. I'm not a fan of what they're trying to do to Caitlin Clark, and I fully believe they're trying to diminish, they're trying to dim the flame of Caitlin, and they're trying to make her fit in to what the WNBA used to be, rather than fit out and be her. I mean that. Like, that is my opinion, and there's no question about.
Let's not kid ourselves, this isn't some one-off moment. It's just the latest in a pattern of awkward, controlling, and maybe even insecure decisions surrounding a once-in-a-generation talent. From the moment Caitlin Clark was drafted, the brand seemed more focused on promoting their team-first culture than celebrating the fact they had just landed the player who could elevate the entire league. Instead of empowering her, the Fever seemed to be confusing mentorship with micromanagement. It's like they bought a Ferrari and handed over the keys only to turn around and give a lecture on speed limits while strapping her to a moped.
Has gotten to the point where she realizes if she gives the ball to Natasha Howard, not only is she not going to get the ball back, but Natasha Howard isn't even going to look in her direction. We have officially reached that.
Just look at what Caitlin Clark has already done for this franchise. Sold-out crowds in every arena. Jerseys flying off the shelves. Media attention that most teams couldn't dream of building in a decade, she delivered it in months. Any forward-thinking organization would be rolling out a gold-bricked red carpet for her. Instead, the Fever are acting like she's some fresh intern who needs to be constantly reminded not to outshine the higher-ups in meetings. Her passion, confidence, and infectious charisma. Those aren't things you rein in there, the kind of qualities you build statues for.
Then goes and hits a step back three on JC Sheldon. And she goes, the whole crowd's going nuts. And she comes, and she's getting subbed off, by the way, at this stage. She's getting subbed off for the game. She doesn't go back in the game at this stage. So it's not like it's a close game. They're up 20. She does not see the floor again. Caitlin Clark is there hyping up the crowd. She's there trying to hype up the crowd. Exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. You want to see this version of Caitlin. You want to see this player. And watch what happens here. So the coach just grabs her. Just grabs her out of nowhere.
The mismanagement of this entire situation can't be ignored. It's as if the Fever stumbled into a marketing goldmine and then panicked that their new franchise star was shining too brightly. Suddenly, the spotlight felt uncomfortable. Fans were watching too closely. So what's the response? Limit her minutes, ice her during critical stretches, and now physically pull her away from her own big moments. Caitlin Clark, who should be treated like Indiana. Royalties instead being handled like an overzealous bench player who forgot she's not allowed to steal the show. Just watch how it plays out on the floor. Suspiciously early trips to the bench. Missed passes when she's clearly open. Teammates treating ball movement like it's optional when it comes to getting her involved. This isn't just bad optics, it's a self-inflicted mess.
That is transpiring with the Indiana Fever, but I said this yesterday, there is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the third situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. We had the Natasha Howard situation where Caitlin Clark bent down to tie her shoe up because she knew Natasha Howard wasn't even going to pass her the damn ball. And I'm telling you right now, that whole situation is crazy in itself. Ever since DeWanna Bonner been gone, they have simply turned this thing into the Natasha Howard team.
You know what's really wild? Caitlin Clark isn't out here acting like a diva, demanding special treatment. Since the day she landed in Indiana, she's shown up, delivered historic performances, handled nonstop media chaos with grace, and transformed the Fever from a punchline into a legitimate contender. And yet, the vibe inside her own organization feels off. Like they're more concerned with keeping her from outgrowing their brand than actually helping her win. And it's starting to show. The joy that once radiated from Clark is dimming. The signature smile still flashes, but if you watch closely, there's something else behind it. Confusion when she's subbed out for no clear reason. Frustration when open teammates look her off. Disbelief when a coach pulls her aside in the middle of a celebration. It's like she's silently asking, if I can't be myself, why am I here? True hoop heads recognize that look. That quiet gut punch when a competitor's fire is being dimmed not by opponents, but by the very people who are supposed to have her back.
Last season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark was 26.5% of all economic activity. As a rookie, merchandise in the league went up 234%. But here was the one that struck me. Before she got there, the Indiana Fever, the valuation of the franchise was $90 million. After playing, 40 games, the valuation of that team now is $340 million. I don't think it's a game you duplicate. There is no second Steph Curry. There is no other player that plays like that. She could be $1 billion athlete. Like when I see these numbers, I'm like, oh, this is high.
And here we arrive at the uncomfortable truth that sits beneath everything else, the part no one wants to say out loud. What's unfolding here feels less like basketball management and more like narrative gatekeeping. Caitlin Clark-White, woman dominating a league that hasn't traditionally seen her. Demographic as its future isn't leaning into identity politics. She's not framing herself as an underdog or playing into any carefully crafted storylines. She's just hooping, winning games, packing arenas, elevating her team from bottom feeders to contenders. And that's quietly making some people in and around the league uncomfortable, especially a few veteran guards from past eras. Her dominance and marketability don't fit the existing narrative. And instead of celebrating the best thing to happen to the WNBA's visibility in years, there's a subtle push to contain her, to minimize her presence, to shrink her impact, to send the message, whether directly or silently, you're moving too fast. Let's be clear, fans aren't blind. They see the tension in every awkward interaction, every cold glance, every backdoor cut where a teammate avoids making the obvious pass. They hear it in the clipped post-game comments. They see it on Clark's face, jaw clenched, shoulders tight when she's benched after catching fire. And then there was that moment. The viral clip of her coach grabbing her mid-celebration like a child about to run into traffic. That wasn't coaching. That was control. Fans aren't buying the excuses anymore. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. The problem is no one knows how to handle Caitlin Clark.